Greetings, we'll cover a few details about Enzo Ferrari and his life in a succinct manner. Here is a short rundown of his early years, education, career, persona, notable works, accolades, and demise. Enzo Anselmo, Italian race car driver and businessman. Giuseppe Maria Ferrari, Cavaliere di Gran Croce OMRI, founded the Scuderia Ferrari Grand Prix racing team and later the Ferrari car company. His nicknames were Il Commendatore and Il Drake. Also known as Enzo Anselmo Ferrari, famous as Italian racing driver. Born February 18, 1898, Modena, Italy. Died August 14, 1988, Modena, Italy. Father, Alfredo. Spouse, Laura Domenica Garello Ferrari. Children, Alfredo Ferrari, Piero Ferrari. Founder, co-founder, Ferrari. Place of death, Maranello. Enzo Ferrari was born on February 18, 1898, in the Italian village of Modena. He was raised in Modena, without receiving any official schooling, and was born to a manufacturer, named Alfredo Ferrari. He gained a passion for racing, and racing driving very early in childhood, and at the tender age of 10, when his father took him to visit the 1908 Circuit di Bologna, he decided he wanted to be a racing driver. After this, he attended numerous other race car competitions, and each of them made a profound influence on him. In the workshop of the Modena Fire Department, Ferrari began his employment as a teacher at the lathe operator school in 1914. His father and brother both passed away from the Italian flu during World War I in 1916. He received a call to duty at around the same time and was enlisted in the 3rd Alpine Regiment, Val Seriana. He caught the 1918 flu, which caused him to be released from service, just as the war was coming to a conclusion. In 1918, Ferrari submitted an application for a position with Fiat, after receiving a letter of recommendation from the military authorities. Sadly, there weren't any openings at the time. However, he was hired as a test driver in Turin by a motor company that worked with a Milanese Italo-Argentinian body shop to convert light trucks into chassis. Enzo began his career as a test driver in 1919, with Costruzioni Meccaniche Nazionali, in Milan. But soon he was given the opportunity to drive in races. He participated in his maiden event that year, an uphill race in Parma-Poggio di Bercito. He finished the race in 4th place. In the same year, he also competed in the Targa Florio race, but due to a gasoline tank issue, he was not particularly successful there either. He competed in the Targa Florio auto race once more in 1920, this time in an Alfa Romeo, and finished in 2nd place. Following this victory, he spent the next 20 years working for Alfa Romeo, first as a test driver, then as a race driver, then as a member of the sales team, and last as the team's head. Ferrari competed in numerous races in 1921, as an exclusive Alfa driver. The same year, he also experienced his first accident, while competing in the Brescia Grand Prix after he stumbled off the road to save a herd of cows that had crossed the path. After winning his first Savio circuit race in 1923, he met the Count Baracca, Francesco Baracca, and Countess Baracca. He received a photo as a gift with a dedication and was enjoined to use their prancing horse as a mascot on his racing vehicles, without restriction. He established the Alfa Romeo racing team, the Scuderia Ferrari Grand Prix team, in 1929. Ferrari's final season as a racing driver was in 1931. In his most recent race, he competed in an Alfa Romeo 8C 2300mm and finished in 2nd place, at the Three Provinces circuit. He gave up racing this year, due to his growing family and other professional responsibilities. Due to financial limitations, Alfa ended its affiliation with Scuderia Ferrari in 1933. In 1937, Alfa retook control of its racing activities, and Ferrari was relegated to the role of director of sports. Ferrari left Alfa Romeo in 1939 under the condition that he would not use the name Ferrari in connection with racing or racing vehicles for the following 4 years. In a garage on Viale Trento e Trieste, he established his own business, Auto Avio Costruzioni, Modena, the same year. He assembled automobiles for the Mille Miglia at the old Scuderia's main building in 1940. Around this period, Ferrari's company was compelled to supply Mussolini's fascist government during World War II. José Froilán González helped Ferrari's company win its maiden Grand Prix at Silverstone in 1951. The first title for the company was won in 1952 to 1953. At this time, the business also began selling sports cars to raise money for its racing activities. Alfonso de Portigo, driving a Ferrari, and his co-driver perished during the Mille Miglia when one of the tires blew, and Ferrari and Engelbert, the tire maker, were charged with manslaughter. Additionally, 9 audience members perished. In 1961, the prosecution was dropped. Ferrari transferred 50% of its shares to Fiat in 1969, but Enzo Ferrari retained complete control over the racing operations. Ferrari initially made Ford this offer, but he decided against accepting it because he knew that, if he included Ford in his company, he would lose control of the crucial decisions. From his post as managing director of the road car division, Ferrari retired in 1974. Luca Cordero di Montezemolo was then proposed as the Formula One team manager, and he was asked to represent him at all race meetings. Ferrari wed Laura Domenica Garello Ferrari in 1932. Together, they had a son named Alfredo Dino Ferrari. In 1956, he passed away from muscular dystrophy. With his mistress Lina Lardi, Ferrari had a second son, named Piero in 1945, but it wasn't until after Lina's passing in 1975 that Ferrari acknowledged Piero as his legitimate son. At a dinner gathering in Bologna in 1929, Ferrari floated the notion of establishing Scuderia Ferrari in Modena. It was decided that its goal would be to provide a racing opportunity for its stockholders. The Count Trossi, Mario Tadini, and the Coniato brothers, from Ferrara were the company's first stockholders. This business soon took the place of Alfa Romeo in the realm of sports. He began creating the original Ferrari automobile in 1945. For the automobile, he created the type of engine that ultimately became synonymous with the company. Ferrari was named a Cavaliere by the state in 1924 for his significant contribution to the sports world, and he was promoted to Cavaliere Official in 1925. He established Corriere dello Sport in Bologna the same year to pursue his love of sports reporting. He received the title of Commendatore in 1927 for his contributions to Italian athletics. Ferrari received the title of Cavaliere del Lavoro in 1952 for his contributions to the auto industry, which helped to improve the perception of Italy abroad. At the age of 90, Ferrari passed away in Maranello on August 14, 1988. The reason of death was not disclosed. In order to make up for the late registration of his birth, his death wasn't made public until 2 days after it occurred, at Enzo's request. Just before he passed away, he saw the Ferrari F40's unveiling, which was meant to be a tribute to his accomplishments. The Ferrari Enzo, which bears the name of the company's founder, went into production in 2002.